Let's see various modes in which we transfer the data from source to destination. So in this case, since we are talking about the I/O, what I mean by source is generally CPU, and the destination is some I/O device, right? So in case if CPU is sending some data to the output device, then the source is CPU and destination is I/O device. In case if you are reading something, let's say like a keyboard, then the source is keyboard and destination is CPU. So anyway, just to keep the thing simple, let's call them using the name source and destination. Okay, and now there are various ways we can classify these transmissions. So we have source and we have destination. I am giving you the basic classification. So you can transmit the data one bit after the next like this over a single channel or a single conductor. If you have a single conductor, then we are going to transmit the data bit after the bit, right? So this is called as serial mode of transfer. Got it? Serial mode of transfer. So where does it happen is where in most of the devices like keyboard, from keyboard to CPU, they will be connected using the single conductor, and so serial mode is used. So what happens is, if you have a keyboard, whenever you type anything, then the data will be transmitted over a single conductor, and it is going to be sent in a serial manner. Now all that serial data will be collected by your I/O interface, and from here I/O interface will send it to the CPU over a parallel mode. So what is parallel mode is, you can think of it like this. So you have source and destination, and you want to send some information. Parallel mode means we are going to have more than one conductor like this, generally a group of 8, 16, 32 like that. Okay, and now we are going to parallelly transmit data on all the conductors. This is called as parallel mode. So both these modes, serial mode and parallel mode, both these modes are being used in computers at different points, and both are very successful, right? It is not like only parallel is used. You might feel that parallel is useful, but let's see the differences. Okay, and then the differences are like this. If you are going with serial and parallel, right? The differences is, first one is, in order to implement serial mode of transmission, we have to have something called as shift registers. So you please refer to digital for the topic of shift registers. There I discussed what a shift register is. So the advantage of shift register is, if you are having a register which is a collection of flip-flops, you can give the data from one side, and you can keep on shifting the data like this, so that a serial data can be given one by one, and then the entire data can be stored inside a register, right? So shift registers are required, and here no need of shift registers, because you can directly give the data to all the registers in parallel. That is why no need of shift registers there. And then coming to the type of errors, here we are going to get in serial mode something called as burst errors, and here we generally get only bit errors. So what is burst errors and what is bit error is, assume that when this particular line is carrying some data, for some time there is external noise, which is because of the voltage fluctuations or something, because of some reason. Assume that there is a change in the fields, electromagnetic fields, and that has affected this particular conductor. Then for that entire transmission, how much ever time this disturbance is there, throughout that transmission, whatever bits you have sent, they are all going to be corrupted. right? Therefore, if you are sending data like this 11101111, let us say during the time this particular part is on the wire, there is some external disturbance, then this entire data will be lost, right? So which means there will be this entire burst kind of errors, right? So here there will be only bit errors. The reason is, if some disturbance is going to happen and if it is going to hit only one conductor, then most probably there will be only one bit on that conductor, right? So yes, we are going to send many bits, but then at that time it is, the chances are more that there will be only one bit, because if you are sending 8 bits, you will be sending them fast. If you are sending 8 bits like this, you will send them in one go, right? So only one bit may be lost. So that is why bit errors will happen there and burst errors will happen here. And then coming to the cost, it is cost efficient, right? So it is a cheaper solution, but it is a costly solution. So what we do is, since it is cheaper, and coming to reliability, this is less reliable, because if anything happens the entire data will be lost. But here reliability is high, more reliable. If anything happens, only certain bits are going to get affected. Got it? So we are going to use this type of parallel transmission only under protected areas, or only for shorter distances. Shorter distances means, if you consider the distance between two registers in a CPU, or the distance between the memory and CPU, the distance is going to be less, right? So in such cases we are going to use the parallel. So parallel communication is used generally when the distance is low, right? So less distance, it covers a less distance, because if you want to go with a larger distance, you cannot do with this, right? And parallel, serial is used, serial is used for more distance, or and it is for less. If you want to cover many kilometers, then we generally go with serial, because it is less costly. If you want to cover a less distance like CPU and memory and all that, then we are going to have this one, parallel mode. Got it? And one simple example is our bus. Generally a bus is a collection of wires, right? So generally in case of bus we are going to have parallel communication. Got it? So both are being used. So this is one way we can distinguish, or this is one way we can classify the modes of transmission. Then the other way we can classify the modes of transmission is synchronous and asynchronous. We shall see it in the next video.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177. And IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply. And statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.